Hey everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me. I'm back again with another guest designer layout for the Precious Remembrance shop, and I'm going to be using two of the stamp sets that I have. The main one I'm going to use is the Totally stamp set, and I've already been playing around with it. I love these shapes. They're kind of like little brush strokes with little triangles engraved in them, and it's just a really cool shape. So what I'm going to do is start with some white cardstock and some black archival ink, and I'm going to start to kind of create my own pattern paper here, and I'm going to add some mixed media. But first I'm going to add some gesso, and my bottle is almost empty and it's getting clogged up, so it's time to go shopping. So I'm going to coat a lot of this paper with some gesso. I'm just smudging it down with an old credit card. It's the perfect tool for scraping it on, and I'm going to cover most of it. My thought at first was I was going to create a bunch of these designs and then do some mixed media work on top of it and then punch it out into shapes. But once I finished doing it, I liked the way it looked, and I decided to just keep the paper intact and use it as my background. And so this just goes to show you that you may start with a certain idea and then something kind of jump out at you and it totally changes your mind. And so that's, to me, that's one of the fun parts of this hobby, is just, you never know what it may inspire you and what direction a project will take. And so I like how this turns out. So I think this is really cool, and I just stamp it vertically down the paper. And that's archival ink, so it's not going to smudge when I start to add liquid to it. So at this point, I still was under the impression of I was going to punch circles out of this. So I was just kind of getting messy with some shimmers and some spray inks. And then I decided I have not used my Tim Holtz Distress inks in forever. Why are they just sitting on my desk? They make awesome, awesome ink for doing the packaging technique like this, and the colors are so rich. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something a little different. So I went and got out several bold colors, blues, aquas, yellows. I'm going to use some of that picked raspberry that's bright pink, and then I'm going to mix and match my shimmers in with it. I'm just trying to get some of my favorite bright colors overlapping the stamping here, and I want it to look kind of watercolory and splotchy. And the packaging technique is perfect for that. It's a totally different look than using a brush or spraying it directly onto the paper. And you know, whatever technique you use, it just depends on what look you want, what mood you're in. I love doing this technique. I always love how it turns out. So I just want some blues, some pinks. I've got some yellows on there. I just want it to look kind of messy and artsy in the background. And this winds up looking like a really cool piece of pattern paper, I think. So I'm going to add some splatters of the pink, and then I needed some green. So I pulled out, I believe that's citron. So it's almost like a lime green color. It's so pretty. I'm going to add just a little bit of that in. So I'm just going to keep going here. I am going to mix and match, add the shimmers, add the ink, splatter. It's hard to know when to stop because this technique is so fun. Now this kind of doesn't work out. This is the Happy Art, I believe it's Happy Art. Yes, the Happy Art stamp set. And I wanted to kind of stamp some of these messy circles around, but the ink I used, it's kind of watery. It just kind of looked like a blob because I stamped it with a distress ink and then sprayed a little bit of water on it, and it just kind of helped with the packaging technique. So I kind of scratched that idea. So I went through my pictures and I found this one of my daughter from a few years ago, and she's got my glasses on and she just looks adorable. And I thought, oh my gosh, this matches this background perfectly. She's got on a black shirt and it's got that pink and the blue in it. And so that's when I decided to use this as my background. And I also flipped it upside down because when I decided to use this picture, she's looking up and to the left. And so I thought, well, she needs to be on the right side of the page. So I flipped it over and loved how it looked. And then I thought, well, all the stamping is beautiful. I love it. It's just really bold. And so I'm going to add this piece of torn vellum over some of it to kind of soften it up a little bit. And I love how you can still see the stamping, but it just gives it a soft, faded effect. And it kind of helps the photo stand out a little bit more, because all the stamping created a really busy area back there, and I love it, but I don't want it to overpower the picture. So I'm going to use a couple of Project Life cards. These are from a stack I've had for a while. They're Me and My Big Ideas, and I picked those up from Hobby Lobby probably over a year ago, mainly because I just loved all the bright colors. I don't even do Project Life, but I thought I need those cards and I'll use them for something. And most of the time I use them for layers because they have such great colors. And this is a perfect example of that. This is kind of one of those layouts from scratch where I'm not using a specific collection at all. I'm just picking things off my desk that match. And that's a fun thing about doing mixed media backgrounds like this is, you know, you can add so much mixed media or paint or ink or gelato, whatever, to your background that you don't really need a specific collection. It takes up so much space and gives so much color that that's the bulk of your layout. You don't really need a lot of embellishing. This is a piece of paper from Fancy Free by Paige Evans, Pink Paisley, and I wanted to use some of those bold circles. And I cut this one out. It's a really pretty bright yellow, and it says, "Oh, hey, you." And I thought that was cute. And then these are a pack of glass clear stickers. And I don't even remember why I bought those. I think I got them from Hobby Lobby on clearance. But I wear glasses, and I thought, you know, at some point I'm probably going to create a layout with my face on it, and it's probably going to be one with me wearing glasses, and I'll probably use these. And so they were like $1.19 or something, so that's why I have those. And those glasses look perfect. I stuck them on some vellum and cut them out, so it kind of looks like there's some lenses in there, and I'm going to incorporate those as an embellishment. But before I glue anything down, I'm going to come in with some bright, bold colors of thread, mainly the same colors that I've already got on my background, the hot pink, the black, and then some of the aqua. And I'm just adding this to add some texture and some pops of color, and just to add to the, you know, random artsy, messy look of the page. And I'm not sure where I'm going to incorporate those glasses yet, but they are going to make it to the page. And I love how she's on the right side of the layout. It looks like she's looking up and across the page. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that kind of thing, but I just am. So I have to have her where I want her on there. All right, so I'm going back to the stamp set, and I'm going to use this stamp that says Totally. And I love the scripty font of it. I'm going to stamp it on some scrap cardstock and then fussy cut it out. And one of my favorite things about stamping on textured cardstock is you can really see the texture of the cardstock through the stamp. And I know, you know, sometimes if you want a different effect, you may stamp on smooth cardstock, but I like the texture, and I think it looks good because it just gives it a little distressed look, and you can really see the texture. I love the texture. These are some thickers from, I can't even remember what collection. I want to say it was an Amy Tan collection, but I don't use these bright, bold thickers enough, so I decided to use these hot pink ones, and I'm going to combine it with the Totally, and that's going to be my title, Totally Grown, because although she was only like 7 in that picture, she just looks so old. I think it's the glasses. And yeah, she's 10 now. And she's almost as tall as I am, which isn't very tall, but still. Yeah. So I've got that glued down. Now this is the same pattern paper from Fancy Free, except this is the 6x6 paper pad. And I love that because you can you know, echo the same shapes from the big 12 by 12 sheet, but on a smaller scale. And I'm going to use a couple of those. I cut a hot pink one and a light aqua blue, and I'm going to place those on the layout. And I'm also going to add in a flare button, and that is from a Flare for Buttons. And it's been in my stash for a while, and it's a black and green camera, and I felt that was a cute little match there because I have some of that lime green going on in the background and in the layers behind the picture. I felt like I needed a little bit of yellow over on the left, so I'm going to add in some thread. That's why I use the thread a lot, just because I feel like, you know, this area needs a little bit of color. Add some thread, and there you go. If you like that look. I know some people don't care for that, and that is fine. This is one more stamp from the Totally set, and it is a fill in the blank, I guess you could say. It says your, and then there's a big line. And so I found this sticker from the Amy Tan clear sticker sheet from On a Whim, and it says Wicked Smart. And I'm going to kind of make that as the fill in the blank. And I like that it's black ink or black sticker, and you can see through it. It's kind of an open letter type of sticker. And I just feel like she looks super studious and super smart in my glasses, even though I'm sure everything was blurry because I'm super blind, but she didn't wear them for just about 2 seconds. I just wanted to see what she would look like with glasses, and she looks super cute. I hope she never has to get them because I've had them since I was in the 5th grade, and so far both of my kids don't seem to need them yet, which is excellent. I'm going to add a little bit of lines and journaling down here at the bottom, just talking about how cute she looked in her glasses and how she looks super duper smart with those on. I'm going to add in some black splatters because I need that to kind of even out all of the other black elements going on. And then I decided to go with the date, and this is the date stamp set from this Precious Remembrance shop. And I'm just going to use the date, or I'm sorry, the month, and then the date and the year. And I love that it's got all the numbers. It's got the days of the week. It's got the months. It's perfect. It's got everything. And so I'm just going to stamp in my date, and that is going to wrap it up. I did do some machine stitching along the right side of the vellum and a little bit under the Wicked Smart part, and that was just some aqua blue thread to match the blue color. And there's the final layout. I love how this turned out. I love that it took a completely different turn than my original thought, and that's perfectly fine. I love all these bold colors, and I love the design that the stamp created. See how you can see the texture there from the cardstock? I think that looks awesome. That's my favorite part, and right there too. And you know, you don't always have to stamp directly onto your paper. Stamp onto some scrap or stamp onto some vellum and cut that out. You can move it around, and you know, you don't have to have it permanent on your page. So that's just another idea that you could give a try. And I hope you guys enjoyed this guest design spot that I had with these stamps. Make sure you check out the link below to Precious Remembrance Shop. The stamps are awesome. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.